I've been looking forward to this, Chris, a lot. One of the things that I was really wanting to ask you about was Ariel Helwani at the end of last year. You were in New York. You got invited into his. I mean, obviously everybody knows who Ariel Helwani is if you're into MMA, but for those that don't, he's the man, like in MMA journalism. He's the guy. He's had all the stars on. He's had everybody.
Aye.
What was that like being invited in there?
It was probably, I'd say, one of the highlights of my full career, obviously, you know what I mean? I think he just won, like, Journalist of the Year again. I think it's like maybe 15 years in a row. I think he's beaten Ric Flair's fucking 14th time, I think. So that whole trip was insane. I just obviously came off a good win, and it was pretty bloody war in Manchester. And me and my friend Eric had planned to go to the Bruins game in Boston and the next game in New York, and we were tying it in. We like our movie shit, you know what I mean? We were tying it in with the 50th year anniversary of the Jaws. So we went to like the island with the shot Jaws in, which is Martha's Vineyard, just off Boston and stuff. So it was just a cool trip. Obviously Ariel reached out. He knew I was over there, and I think the plan was to go on like here and just like Skype over or whatever the fuck you do these days. And then he's like, what about coming in the studio? And I was just like, shit. I remember we were walking about Manhattan and I was going like shopping for something to wear, because you're like, right, you're going on fucking in front of millions here and like in a studio, and I think it's the Yahoo studios they're in now. It's like it's a big deal over there, you know what I mean? So I was like walking about, just drinking a wee tea in Manhattan. It was boiling and I didn't even have anything to wear. Like, this is just on my way to the studio. So jumped into a couple of shops. I remember I bought this Boston Bruins like jersey, and he comments on it as soon as I walk in, and it was like super expensive, but it was not my bag. I was wanting this wee yellow like windbreaker like Boston Bruins jacket. I wanted it, but they didn't have any in the actual superstore I went to. So I got this jersey, like this weird like starter jacket. It's no my style anyway.
That's nice, mate. That's nice.
So this is a funny story after it though. So I wore it. I went to Carhartt, just got a white t-shirt. Honestly, I literally dressed outside the studio to go in. And then see after it, because I didn't like the Bruins jersey, I was like, should I keep this for just sentimental value? This is what I wore on Ariel. And then we drove back up to Boston that night for the Bruins game. And I took the jacket back, got my $400 back, and then bought more clothes with it. So basically I wore the jacket, bought the jacket, wore it on Ariel, took the jacket back, got my money back. So there is a funny story behind it, but I just wouldn't have wore it here, and I could have kept it in my cupboard and just said, I wore that on Ariel, but I mean $400 or something that was. So, but going back to yours, sorry I got off on a tangent now. It was surreal. It was surreal because I've watched Ariel before my career started. Like I met Ariel in London, or no, Manchester it was. I remember we were like kind of talking to Chael Sonnen, and Conor at this time was young Conor, and Ariel was there, and it was I told him that. I was like, well, I met you in outside the event in Manchester. I'm sure it was Manchester. I think it was Manchester. Because Robert Whiteford was on it. I'm sure he fought Jimmy Hayes or something, and that was his debut. And I think that's why we went down. Yep. And we went down for the weigh-ins and stuff like that. And I told Ariel, I was like, well, Andy, you're going to interview me, right? But I didn't think it was going to take so fucking long. And I didn't ever think it was got to be New York either. So the way I was looking at it was like, look, you're coming to the end of your career, but like you've had a crazy career, and you're still just a young guy from Hollytown that ended up getting interviewed in Manhattan, New York. Like, and to hear Ariel come out with Hollytown was quite funny as well.
Hollytown, huh?
He's like, tell me about Hollytown. I was just like, shit, this is a bit surreal. But I think it's made it the day where he digs who I'm. He likes my character. He likes what I do, wrestling stuff, acting. I think it was my full persona he liked more than just my mixed martial arts career, which is quite a good thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he'd mentioned somebody who said that you are, what was the word he'd use, that one of the most exciting men or interesting men in MMA. Who was that had told him that? He must have.
That's Pete Carroll. Right. He's like one of the biggest journalists ever to come out of Ireland. obviously he's working with Ariel now in their Uncrowned stuff. But I shout out to Pizza Carol in the Crack podcast, who's a friend of mine. So I think he was giving Ariel some dirt on me as well, because Ariel was pulling some stuff out the bag that I forgot existed, and I think that's when you know that he's the best, because he's not bothered to ask the tough questions, and he'll find the dirt as well. Not the dirt, but he'll dig a bit. So that's proper journalism, and it was great, and it was surreal, and just to even be in the studio was pretty cool, because like I think who was on after me? It was, I don't know, like it was Tom Aspinall or Haney, Devin Haney or something like that. So it was like there was a good cast, man. Just like, and then a couple of weeks later, Conor and all the big stars were on it again. So Ariel's a man, and I still WhatsApp him. I still talk to him. I still bam him up from time to time, especially if it's like either the basketball, the football, because the World Cup was on, or even like the WWE, the wrestling. Like we have a good bit of back and forth in that. He's quite ruthless sometimes, but it's funny, man.
It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I just seen, I think it was yesterday, had Canelo in the studio.
Exactly.
So you think of the caliber, like if you're somebody in combat sports, you've been on Hawani.
You know, he says he wants me back on, like when I retire and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool as well, man. So I'll probably get to have another talk this time, probably over the phone, then going to New York.
I think that'll be huge though, man. Because one thing that you'll be in a very a small club when you, let's say you to go back on at the end of your career. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit about your plans. But if you get to the place where you want to go 50 fights, I've got this here. One of the things that I'd read up, it's not necessarily an official statistic, but it's what they reckon, that less than 3 fighters worldwide make it to 50 fights in their career. 3%. So you think of the amount of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of men and women that start wanting to be a fighter. 3% of them get close to that. So like to be in that club, which obviously is your goal, this is your 46th fight coming up, and
47th coming
47th
up
in 6 weeks time,
September,
which is huge, man. How does it feel to be, obviously you're pushing in that bracket there, being in the top 3% in terms of fighters? How does that feel?
I think I've got a bit of OCD, to be fair, and I actually wish I probably didn't say. My head was always on 50, but now that I'm coming to the end of my career, and obviously I've got other things happening round about me with the gym and my students and that, then you're just like, fuck, like why did I have to say 50? Like, no, it's not like, obviously my body's got some injuries throughout the years and that, but there's a lot of energy putting into a fight team. Students, young students, old students, like you're like fathering some of them, like just as a mentor, as a coach, but you need to fucking tidy up after them. You need to like keep them in line. It's like this is a lot. It's like they're all young boys and some young girls as well, but a lot comes with it, put it that way. And it's no, since the last couple of weeks I've really felt that. And I'll give my team all my energy. But I think the day when I'm retired and maybe the gym's finished, like everything I need to do in it, then they can get even more of my energy, you know what I mean? So it's cool getting to 50, but it's been tough on the body, especially the last couple.
I can only imagine. Probably still feels like a light year away. I mean, I've got a few fights.
I know, you're like 4 fights, you know what I mean? I've done 4 fights in a year, no problem. And see, if I didn't have the gym, I mean, I could go more. I know I could go more. I train in the gym with the young guys that have got like 10 years on me. Like I know I could probably fight at a decent level, but I think 50 is just a smooth number. We've got the gym's a year and a bit old, and by the time I retire, it's already up and running, it's smooth, and it's just less pressure off me, and obviously, like, there'll be a void to fill. I can see myself going into a depression already, right? I can see myself gaining weight. I can see myself probably getting chucked out of the house.
Got Dustin
I mean, I can see all that, and I can be honest with that. My team will fill a void of their success and their energy and me pushing them to get to bigger shows and title fights and stuff like that, and just helping their journey. and I know that'll fill a void, but it won't be me make the walk out there, and I will miss it, and I will get depressed, and I get that. I know that's coming. I'm all right with that, but it's just life, innit? You just need to move on, and now I get to now like I love my team, like a day in for my team, and I'm there every step with them, and I know when I don't need to think about my own fights and my own training, my own weight cuts, and my own performances, then it's just about them, and I think I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. How do you compare the experience of obviously walking in by yourself? You know it's all on you, like you can control it, but see when you're sitting there with these guys, these young guys that you said you're more than just a coach to them, you're like a father figure, and then you're walking in behind them, they're going into fight, you know how nervous they are. How does that feel? Are you almost more nervous for them, or what's it like?
It's harder. It's definitely harder. Like, in any fighter will say that. They get more nervous watching their teammates. I've heard that a million times. I've said it myself. One thing I will say is I coach juniors now, young students. 14, like last week, we travelled to Newcastle, 14, 15 and 16-year-olds, 3 of them on a card, different rule set, junior fights, shin pads, stuff like that. But, I mean, one of them, my student Poppy, she's a girl, 14-year-old. I mean, like making a walk to a cage in front of a sold-out crowd with her family in a different country, up against another girl, like emotions running high with her. She's understandable. She's young, absolute savage, right enough. You know what I mean? Like, I know her skill set's great, but just to see like my young students, what they're going through. They're going through the motions. Then I was feeling it for them because they're so young as well, and I'm putting them in that environment. I'm like, are they ready? Is this on me if this doesn't go well? So that was new for me, and other things going with it as well. Considering she was a girl and stuff like that, there was stuff leading up to the fight and stuff like that. It was so new, but this is coach duties. You know what I mean? This is on me. And then the other two, 15, 16, Colin and Noah, I've taught them in my back garden since they were kids. And like, I had a gym at the back for a few years. They were coming to me, their parents were bringing them in, and I've seen them progress into like Noah's like a man now, like strength-wise, size-wise. Colin just technically amazing, and just to see the 3 of them just go out there and perform, I don't know what the fuck I was doing at 14, but I'll tell you, it wasn't in a cage. I was probably in bushes looking for fucking dirty magazines or some shit like that. They burn at my back, like jumping out of the river and stuff like that, playing football. Like, just, no, I wasn't walking out ready to compete with my skill set that they 3 have got. And it was amazing to see. But as you go back to your question, the emotions going with that is so much different because I can control me in there. Don't get me wrong, they listen to me in the side for like what I'm asking for them. But it's up there for them, mind how they feel, and it's different for a 14, 15, 16-year-old. So the older guys, I know what they can do. So yeah, I get nervous for them, especially the harder their fights get and the competition they face and stuff. The better they get, the harder it gets for them. I'm not as nervous for them. I get more excited for them.
Nice.
But the younger ones or the people that are maybe making their debuts, yeah, I get a wee bit nervous because you're going to lose at some point, and that's just the nature of the beast. And I'm there to console them. And the first thing people say is that they're sorry, and it sucks because I've done that, and everybody does say that because it's a natural reaction to say sorry to your teammates for losing, but you should never ever be sorry, ever, especially when it comes to the fight game. You've trained hard, you've made the weight, you've made the walk, you're going out there, like, as you say, I'm in the 3% of people that get to 55s, but the percentage of people actually making the walk is pretty small as well, and like they're in that bracket. So I'm proud more than any of the team, and I think I will get better and better and better as the team grows and the bond gets tighter, because then right now our teams, for being a year and a few months old, the connection's wild, man. And I think it's because it's a smaller gym, like the mat space is quite a smaller. We've got 2 mat spaces, but so we're all in it together. So you can't. It's not like a big big open mat space where like there's maybe a wee clique over the back that doesn't interact with people, or if you're coaching them, you're not really seeing what they're doing up there. Like, we're all in it together. So I'm quite hands-on with a lot of people, and I'll reach out if I don't see them, I'm like, everything all right? And it's not about fucking money. I don't care about money. I care about the people, and so I think that's what brings us closer together. And even when people fight, there's maybe a couple on the card. We've got about 20, 30 of the team there, and the changing. Sometimes we just take over a changing room, and we've only got a couple on the card, and it's like, why is there 40 people in here, and how is this allowed? How these shows let you in, stuff like that. So, long may it continue, but there's hundreds of growth still to be had, and just like everything else, even for me.
I think there's something to be said about that, by the way. Like, you walk in, I know this, I've trained at so many different gyms, and when you go into a gym, if it is this huge space, and like you said, you've got your cliques at the back, and you've got it's hard to feel part of something. Whereas when you go in and you can't help it, the coaches are there, the fighters are there, you feel as one, rather than it being like so many separations. So that's obviously a huge thing.
And it's daunting as well, walking into a martial arts gym. Like, very, like, I had mum and dad bring their two kids yesterday. No, the day before, but there was two parents, there were two boys, and they were like 14, and they came to class last night. But even that first step, I can move that way. Even that first step is super daunting. It's hard walking into a martial arts gym. They smell it first, right? You're like, right, great. People smashing pads, people with cauliflower ears. You've maybe seen me on TV or whatever, and they're like, oh, that's Chris Bungard, that's a coach. But I'm as down to earth as possible. That first step is daunting. And I've trained in every big gym in the world. American Top Team, SBG Ireland. I've been in Iceland, aka Thailand. I've been in New Mexico, John Wink, all the big ones. And just took wee bits and bobs off every big coach or every great athlete I've shared the mat with. Like, oh, this works, might not work for other people, but I'll take it in and then I'll show people in the gym. And that's the way it should be. You should be able to at least experience other gyms. A lot of coaches don't like the cross training because, oh, you maybe think that's a better gym and you maybe leave me or whatever because I need you for my money. Don't spar with them because they're good. They'll beat you up, but you need that. You need hard training. I've always said if you're the one winning all your rounds in the gym, you're beating up all your teammates, then you're in the wrong gym probably. You need to go to a gym where sometimes you're the nail. You know what I mean? That's it. If you're smashing all your guys in the gym, then you go into that fight where the guy's good and he starts laying at you, you're like, fuck, I've never been here before. You know what I mean? And that's just natural. So I always say, like, that's how I learned. Like, I travelled the world and I coached. I've done fight camps in Ireland, Iceland, America, Thailand, Ibiza, I've tried Spain and stuff like that. Like, and I've took wee bits off every coach I've been to, and that's the way it should be. And that's when I'm coaching my classes every day. I'm still showing stuff that I've been taught off other coaches all over the world. I'm like, this works for the best guys in the world. You've got to fucking do it. You know what I mean? And plus, because obviously I've had a lot of fights, I can show people. Like, I've been in the fire like many a times. This works in there. This Disney. This is where I went wrong. This is where I don't want you to go wrong. So for me, experience is key. I don't care what anybody says. If you're a jiu-jitsu coach and you don't compete, red flag for me. And that doesn't mean you're not a good coach. I just feel like if I'm looking up to somebody, I'm like, they need to have been there. And same with fighting. If you're a fucking MMA coach that has never been in the cage or never won a fight in his life, don't tell me how to take somebody down. Don't tell me how to do stuff. You know what I mean? So I just feel like you need to experience the fire. And if you don't, then I think that's no pure martial arts. How have you got a gym? Like, how you make money? Is it just to make money? Then that's fine. That's a business for you. For me, martial arts needs to be pure martial arts. Yeah,
that's it. It's like you look at any of these gyms around the world as well. None of these, you see all the big gyms you mentioned, none of them started as a business.
Yeah.
They became it, some of them right enough, but it's like these guys were...
They just blow up. Yeah.
Exactly, but they were started by fighters who were coaches, they had skin in the game, they were in there, so the experiences is invaluable. Do you ever remember what was the first gym you ever walked into? Do you ever remember that?
Wasn't a gym, it was a sports hall. It's a sports centre. So it was weird because my first one, I only went twice, and it was in Wishy Sports Centre. It was with an Egyptian coach called Amro. He was a judo guy, but he was a pro MMA fighter. I'd done like 2 of his classes, but it was mainly grappling. I think it was like we took the mats out and he was showing us like kimuras and stuff like that. And then I started my first gym, which was Hollytown Sports Centre, Keir Hardie Sports Centre, and that was with Russell Bailey, and we were called Team Raw. How terrible name, Team Raw, and we weren't the best, but Russell Bailey kind of showed me a lot of the basics, the fundamentals, and I started my career there, and I had my first 3 amateur fights way under Russell, which I won all 3, which was weird because I wasn't technically good, but I was game. I liked to fight. I took to that to the jiu-jitsu, my guard stuff. I think the 3 of them are one-way triangle against good guys for good gyms. Now that I'm older, they're like bare knuckle fighters now. My first 3 opponents, but they were tough guys, and it was just bring the mats out. It was a sports centre, bring the mats out, and then we got our own wee like unit in Wishy, and it was matted and stuff like that. We built our own wee team. Again, wasn't the best, but they were close friends of mine, and we had some mixed bags before I eventually moved on. But it was sports centres really. We just pulled mats out.
Yeah.
And then having to put them away at the end, which was fucking murder as well.
That's the thing that like people like me, we don't get this in the sense of obviously I've been following MMA and I've been training in Muay Thai for about the past 6 years, right? And when I think back, like you think like the OGs, right? If I think of Scottish martial arts, like you think obviously you've got Paul, you've got yourself, Robert Whiteford, like you've got all these guys that you think of from all these years ago, and you think like fucking hell, everybody just imagines it's like the gyms there are today, but it's not. It was sports halls. These guys started, it's like Stevie Ray, all these guys, everybody started in sports halls and whatnot. So what was it like back then, 15 years ago, when you started in MMA martial arts? What was the scene like, the whole martial arts scene in Scotland?
Well, it's famously known as like the Wild Wild West days. Not I mean, it was quite mad, to be fair. Like we had like you had semi-pro rules and stuff like that, which was like pro gloves. We like I think it was like no ground and pound and stuff like that. Shows were wild though. Like my first few shows, they would used to have like riots at them. My first show, like one of my first shows, were in Port Glasgow, the town hall. It was like Team Vipers, Chris Carmichael's show. Just chaos. You had the ones in Lanark, the sport fight, always riots in name. It was quite known where there was a big famous riot.
Where was that?
In Lanark.
Whereabouts? Because I'm from Lanark.
I think it was at the cattle market.
Right, would have been the market.
So there was it's on YouTube. It was the old Dinky Ninjas. I'm sure it was.
Of course, higher level now.
Yeah. But so the guys that were fighting in it they were part of my Team Raw, but it wasn't. They weren't Team Raw then. It was before that, and I think it was like Big John Yardley and Alan Love and stuff like that. I think basically they started his fight. I think somebody got cut, and then the fight got stopped, and then they all started fighting, and my other mates were jumping in the ring with some of the other Dinky Ninjas, and it was just. And I always remember the guy in the microphone shouting, "There's children here, think of the children," or something along the lines. But it's on YouTube. But that was what I can first remember back in the day, and I was just like, oh, "This is fucking nuts, man." But weight divisions weren't like weight cuts weren't in as much. There was a lot of people just fighting on the day. It was mad. I remember like we used to like make weight, then just there was like a burger van outside the venue. We'd just go right to the burger van. This is my first couple of fights, and it'd be like chips and curry, hot dogs, and then you'd fight that you'd weigh in the same day though. So it's not like I was fighting the next day, so I was eating all that shit and I was fighting at night. But because we weren't like a good team. Obviously, you had Dinky Ninjas, like Grip House, they were the guys, like, and you'd have like a good time for Aberdeen and stuff like that, but you were always up against like the Grip House guys, and nobody else would really fight them. But I would always like, I was just game to fight, and sometimes I was in there with people I should have never been in there at the time, like judo Commonwealth guys and jiu-jitsu champs and all that. And like I was just training in Hollytown or training in Wishy, and like with guys that weren't as experienced basically. Sometimes I had no training partners and stuff like that. So it was quite mad back in the day until I kind of settled into it a wee bit.
And you can't teach that. See, I have somebody that will just, fine. So who's it? I'll find that.
I got my arm broke because of it, man. Just
what happened?
I took on Jordan McCall for Grip House, and he'd trained for years, like jiu-jitsu and judo, all sorts. Just big, just a big dude. He was called the Juice. I don't know. I don't know if that's the reason he was so big. He did reach out to me on Twitter not long ago. We had a wee bit of back and forth. That was quite fun. I forgot he existed. But basically, nobody would fight him. I fought him in Alhambra Theatre in Dunfermline. This was like my fourth fight as an amateur. Fourth fight, and it was in a ring. My first fight in a ring. And I don't know if I took him down. I think I took him down or he pulled guard. I don't know. Anyway, he jumped on a submission and he caught me in a Kimura. But I was trying to like move. I was fucking so bad back then as well. My technique was terrible. And I remember I ended up under the ropes. It was a ring. Because my knees were outside, so I had no weight on it. And he was trying to triangle me and end up attacking this Kimura, and I broke my humerus bone. Just snapped right off, man. Like, that was like probably my worst injury in fighting. I've had some in the gym, like my back, my knee and stuff like that, but actually in the fight I broke my arm. So, and that was like clean out. So there was a bit of hostility between the two of us. So
and that was in fight number
4.
And fucking about 40 fights later now. That's me.
I know. But again, he was for a good gym. He was well decorated. Probably shouldn't have been in there with him at the time, but I was still just, I'll fight him. That was my mentality. It was I'll fight him, and I mean sometimes it doesn't go your way.
I know. And as we said, it's rare, man, to have folk like that. Not many people would have done that. What was it like? Obviously, you think all these guys now, you're saying like people you fought then are now in bare knuckle. You've got obviously guys that went on and fought in different organisations and whatnot. Yep. When you think, I mean, obviously Paul, long-time training partner, things like that. How did you meet these guys in the beginning? How did you get involved with the right people?
So basically, with Team Raw, there was, as I say, there was no training partners. And I had 2 fights coming up. I remember this. I had 2. I was matched twice. That's how mad I was. Sometimes I do that with my fighters now.
You matched them twice?
Aye. Like, I remember, like, our mutual friend, Conor.
Yeah.
Like, I've got this, you're fighting here and you're fighting there. That's, and I'm thinking, that's kind of like what I do. So I'm like, right, let's not do that anymore. Or that's what I'd done, basically. So I had two fights coming up. I had one in Inverness and I had one in Kelvin Hall. And I was going into the gym at the time, and just nobody was showing up for me, and it was just myself. And so I was just like, right. I'd seen on Facebook there was like jiu-jitsu at Coatbridge Whifflet. Sorry. A team called Scottish Hit Squad, right? So I'm like, I'm going to go for it. I went over there. I was in a Thai gym. They rented out two classes after the Thai gym. So the Thai classes were on, then it was like a Monday night and a Wednesday night. So I started doing jiu-jitsu there, and I told my old coach, I'm like, listen, I'm going to join this gym. There's like bodies there. They weren't a fight team. Mm-hmm. They just grappled and stuff like that. So I joined. The coach at the time, Brian, I says, look, I'll join, but I've got a fight coming up. And he's like, I'll corner you. I'm like, right, cool. I was in Inverness. And that turned out I was the first ever fighter for Scottish Hit Squad. That fight in Inverness. Me, Brian, James Campbell, another friend of mine, they came up with me. I always remember it because we were upstairs and it was at the Ironworks, and we were upstairs and you go down the stairs with the cages at the stage and that. And I came out to my amateur career. I kind of fucked about with my songs until I found Bad Moon Rising, really. And I came out to Bob Dylan, The Hurricane, and I walked down the stairs. I'll remember it. 3-round war, and at the end of the third round I got a triangle, and I remember I jumped the cage, and my friends used to have some support back in the day. They had the full stage, but there was a railing, so I've jumped the cage and then I've jumped onto the stage railing, and like they've all crushed the railing, and my friend broke all his ribs. My friend Webb broke all his ribs because he was hugging me and I was hugging them. But so it turned out that was the first ever fighter for the Scottish Hit Squad, and then the gym started growing a wee bit. Paul Craig came in with his friend Alexander Deese just to do jiu-jitsu, and then we kind of started just training again, growing there. Paul had his first fight. I shared the cut. No, Paul had his first fight the night I was in Inverness, actually. So we fought on the same day. I was fighting Ross Houston, world champion.
Aye, of course.
In his hometown, and Paul was doing in Sunderland, the Stadium of Light, fighting at Total Combat. And in the second one, I cornered Paul, Stadium Light, for the title, and somebody pulled out in the Stadium of Light, and then I fought the guy that pulled out on the day, and so me and Paul shared the card that day. So then we just kind of trained for there. The Thai gym moved, and Brian took over the lease, and that became Scottish Hit Squad. And then all my old teammates with Team Raw then joined fucking Scottish Hit Squad. So and it kind of just built for there. And I had like 30 fights under Scottish Hit Squad. But
Whifflet, the gym in Whifflet.
Whifflet was a great gym. Absolute shithole.
I trained there a few.
Stinking. The wee rape alley. Sorry if you need to blur that out.
No, we'll blur that out.
The wee rape alley going in, you're like, what the fuck is this? Shutter, stinky door, holes in the wall. I put some of the holes in the wall, putting people through them right enough, but just an old dingy gym where we all made our career, let's be honest. And that's one thing I will say. I loved that gym. I loved my training partners. I loved my team. Without my team, I would be nothing. John Strong, Michael Blair, Ryan Campbell, Gary McMillan, like just they guys. I needed the guys. They were my bodies to train with, and vice versa. I feel like I helped them a lot as well. Obviously, Paul. I trained with Paul every day because we were like the only pros there. But I was more close with my guys in my division because we went to war with each other. Paul wasn't really a fighter. He was it's funny saying that because he's a UFC fighter, but like he was a school teacher. Like it was like he didn't come for like where we came from, and like we're fighters deep down. He was just an athlete really, that was great at jiu-jitsu and moulded into a good fighter. So me, the boys, the four horsemen, me, Jordan, Michael and Ryan, like I'd go to war for them any day.
Some set of fighters, man.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's you see hearing all this, it's pretty mental thinking how many fights you are in just now when we look back to all those things in the sense of like imagine this, right? Like a boy for Hollytown, imagine when you're a teenager, if you're to look forward now, see how many, because I imagine you probably didn't know you were going to go into martial arts. This wasn't the plan.
No, man.
No. And now you look at what you've done, how many fights you've had. You've headline cards in Bellator, you've fought against some of the like best fighters in the world. When you look at some of the calibre of guys, the guys you've trained with, you've trained with some of the best in the world. You've trained at SBG, you've been at Top Team and like all these gyms, all these incredible things. What's it like looking back now and seeing all the things you've been able to experience through martial arts?
I think it's wild. I mean, I've shared the match with Conor. I mean, I've went on benders with Shane Gillis. I've fucking been in music videos with Post Malone. I've been on Ariel Helwani. I've partied with some A-listers in Hollywood, some of the dark scenes in Hollywood. I've had a mad life, to be fair, and it is all through my fighting. Trained with Celtic. I've been on Celtic Park a few times. Dream stuff, you know what I mean? But I don't know if that's through fighting or my character, you know what I mean? Like, people obviously like me. But I'm just taking it one day at a time, but it is all through martial arts. Because if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't know these people, I wouldn't be in these circles, I wouldn't be on TV, like BBC's, Channel 5's, Sky Sports, BT, all this, where I've fought on. I've wrestled in the WWE Network, I've been on UFC Fight Pass, all this jazz. And that all comes through walking through the first martial arts store, you know what I mean? And obviously you still need to build your brand, I get that, which is very important these days. But I feel like a lot of people are always trying to sell something now. Every time you're scrolling, there's just somebody talking to you about what they're selling or something. It comes for everything, but I get you need to get out there with your brand, I get that. But I think martial arts is a big one, especially if you want the headlines or the big money or the big contracts. Like you want people to tune in when you fight. And I think I done that by being me though. I wasn't fake. Like I think people could see that you're just Chris from fucking Hollytown. Yeah. The patter was like boys patter, and I was trying to be funny. I would never kid on I was somebody I wasn't, and I wouldn't like be fake, because that's one thing that I do hate is the fakeness of people, and I can see right through some of them. But it's all through martial arts. For sure, it's a really good point you mentioned. It's like, because you look at all these fighters, right? Like, undoubtedly they've done amazing things in sport. Like you think like all the guys like Robert Whiteford, Paul, Stevie Ray, all these things, but you do stand out. Like there's no secret, you stand out with the charisma, with the type of guy you are. So you're right. It's like these opportunities, they come up, but you're not going to be able to take them unless you are that type of person that puts himself in these situations. So it's pretty mental. All these things. When we look at obviously McGregor, you've trained with him. When was that you trained at him, and what was that like? I trained, it was like 5 years. I went from 2014, maybe 15, to like 2019. I was just continuously going over to ASBG in Dublin to training with John Kavanagh. Every few months I'd go over for like a week or like a weekend or a couple of days, because I was always fighting, so I was always going over. And I used to stay across the road for the gym. And it was just, obviously the first day, I think it was me and Makwan Americani. He was like a UFC fighter for Finland, great wrestler. So it was me, I kind of stayed with him. I kind of started when he first went over. And then you're sharing the mats with like Conor, Gunnar Nelson, all these guys. Even when Darren's come over, even though I really don't like that guy now. Like I still respected him when he was on the mat, and like I would always seek out roles with him, and I would seek out rounds with Conor, like the best at the time, like prime Conor, like it was. And even when I was coming back over, I was some of the Diaz and the Alvarez camps, and I think I was over for the Khabib one. I think I was over for the Khabib one as well. And even just, I mean, there's a fucking aura when you're on the mat with Conor. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Especially back then, there was, like, you're standing there, he's standing beside you, or he's working with you, or you're rolling with him, or you're doing whatever techniques you were doing with him. There's an aura, there's a presence. But I was just trying to be me. Like, even in the changing rooms, I would try to get a laugh with him. You could tell those people, like, they're shelling round about him. But I was just being me, and I think he liked that. Yeah. I think he liked that, and got a laugh with him. But on the mat, it's just pure dialed in, professional. Like, no carry on. Maybe his timekeeping was a bit suspect. And that's what I try and drill into my guys. Sean Hutton. I hate when they're late, man. Like, I don't mind the odd time if they're late, but if they're always late, we've got an issue there. But I'd go to Iceland and train at Gunner's gym in the Icelandic mountains. Unbelievable. Just kind of like technique, unbelievable grappling. And the team was great over there as well. I love the country. Yeah, just go back and forth to Ireland. My coach at the time was fine with it. Well, I don't know if he was fine with it. Who knows? But I done it anyway. And I made some great friends. All the other fighters as well, other coaches, the Thai coach Carol, the wrestling coach Sergey, even I ended up good friends with like Richie Smullen, Kiefer Crosby, all these guys I would train with every day. Peter Quealy to the extent, obviously we had a falling out. But like great athletes and tough guys, man, and I learned a lot from all the guys. And it was quite a big part of my career at that point, because that was going right into obviously going into Bellator.
Exactly. What was that like? Because you would have been training with Prime McGregor, like Alvarez. That's you don't get better than that in a lightweight division.
And even I was getting to watch him spar as well in the cage, like switched on, just dismantling people. And I would always reach out for rounds. I would always message him because I was across the road. And I don't know if that says more about me, knowing that he was what he could do and how good he was. And you just kind of want to test yourself and see how good these guys was. I always wanted to kind of grapple with like a Khabib, like a grapple with Dylan Dennis, but I mean, elite level wrestling grappling, like Khabib, I always wanted to just get a wee feel of it. I know he's a bit heavy now and he's still probably do what he wants to be, but I like to feel that presence and that strength at the highest level. And even when you were moving the corner, you could feel that, like just unbelievable distance, control, and believe it or not, like grappling, brilliant, unbelievable, like underrated grappler. And people always just think he's knockouts, but Conor could grapple and he could wrestle as well. But it was lucky. I was lucky to just be there and be in that presence and watch that, because I mean that run that he was on was unbelievable, and I think everybody, like, probably their favourite times they maybe joining the sport or watching the sport.
For sure. Won't be repeated again, that's for sure. Like that. How do you get an opportunity like that? How do you get the opportunity to go to places like that? Even you'd said you were at Top Team. You went out to Thailand as well. How do you get these type of opportunities?
Well, with Dublin, I just messaged John. I just messaged him. He was like, if I come over for a camp or some in my camp. Yep, not a problem. Like, John's great like that way. Great coach as well. Like, I loved these morning classes. Very technical. And some stuff I even showed it to my guys now, fruit that John showed me. So I tell them, like, if this is good enough for Gunnar, Conor, like, this is good enough for yous. With other camps, like, sometimes I'll reach out. The more I got known in my career, like, I just rocked up. Like, some people knew me. I always remember, like, I landed in Vegas and, like, the wee baggage handler, I was like, oh, Chris Bungard, like, I just thought it was like is this a bam up? It's just fans that knew me in America and stuff like that, so that was quite cool. But other gyms, I'll just rock up, man. Sometimes they know me, sometimes they don't. Sometimes if they know you though, like, they go for you, you know what I mean? Like, they need to test themselves. Sometimes I'd like to not be known and then just enjoy the session. But sometimes if they know, like, or you're a pro fighter, a black belt, jiu-jitsu, like, they want to test themselves against you, and then you're like, right, I'm on holiday or whatever, I just want to come in for a sweat up and learn and have fun. And next thing you know, you've got people trying to neck crank you and, like, hanging off your neck or try to take your head off, and then you're like, right, okay, we're doing this, and I'm alright with this as well. So,
aye. Scrapping holiday.
Aye. I remember Ibiza, right? It's a funny one, but I was training for the Colin Fletcher British title fight, and we were in Ibiza with the lads' holiday booked. Usually I was alright with, like, staying off drink and stuff like that. Like, I was quite dialed in for a fight camp. But I was in Ibiza this time. I think it was like 6 days or whatever, 7 days, and I think it was like proper, like, I was proper sober for like 60 days. And I remember I went to this Ibiza Top Team, and I just went just for rounds, just to roll, and I was obviously roasting, and I just remember this coach just trying to fucking take my head off, and he was spinning back, kick me in the body, and I was just like, right, okay, we're going with this. And then, like, within like 3 minutes of the 5-minute round, they just shut down. Like, it gave me everything they got. And I was just like, right, now you're getting it. And I fucking pasted them, man. Absolutely pasted them. And then that night, I ended up going out with my friend. So it's like I earned it, know what I mean? Like, right, I'm going to go to a nightclub tonight and get fucking mad to it. So
brilliant. That's
what I've done. But most ones I can just rock up to. Some of them know you, some of them don't. That's the good thing about martial arts. You can literally rock up into any gym and train. That's a good thing. You can't do that with other sports. You can't just rock up to Celtic Park or kickabout and stuff like that. So martial arts, that's what I say, it's the best thing. 90% of the people in it are good people in martial arts. Like, you know, we're fighters. You get a lot of idiots, a lot of fucking...
What ego?
Aye. But 90% of them, they're all good guys, man. And usually martial arts kind of helps them out as well. Like, if they've got ego, or if they're a bully, or if they're idiots, that straightens them out a wee bit and gives them a wee bit more discipline, and they change a wee bit. And I've brought two people together in the gym that like don't really like each other, don't like each other. No, they like each other, and I've not really told anybody about that, but that was quite a good thing for me. That was quite a big thing.
It's huge. It's absolutely, because it's, I mean, like you said, there's few sports where you can do that, where you're, especially like, I don't know, football or something like that. If you're in a separate team, you're in a separate team. You don't train together.
Yeah.
Whereas something like that, it says a lot about you as a coach as well, to bring two people and see that. And also, as you said, it's like, exposure to that, and you'll change it for sure. What was it like? I mean, obviously, American top team, AK in Thailand, I've been there, training at some gym. In terms of how it looks, at least, it's some gym. What were they like there?
Brilliant. You're training in the jungle, and it's the heat. It's got to be cafe and stuff like that, and the food was beautiful. Thailand was so good. Just, you're in a jungle, and I was washing elephants in a proper jungle. It wasn't like one of the ones that like it's pure for like tourists and stuff. Like this was legit. And even when I was washing this elephant, like the other side of the river, there was just elephants walking past as well. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh, plus what's in this fucking river? Like what is in this river? Like I'm not scared of like snakes and shit like that, or spiders and that, but you just know when you're in there, there's something in there. And then I was jumping into the gym, training with like Russians, wrestling with the Russians and stuff like that. Doing all right against them. And then I think it was Mike Swick's gym. And then got to meet him, talk to him. He was wanting me on his podcast and stuff like that, which is great because I don't even know the guys and stuff like that. And today, I would like to do a camp out there. That would be nice, like a full camp. I only done like a week there, but it's a lifestyle out there. And you don't need much money out there when you're out there. It's just about make sure you're eating healthy and getting your training in and recovery and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But Thailand's just beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. AKA, I've trained at a few actually, AKAs, because they're all over America. I've trained the ones in North Carolina, I've trained the ones in Portland, Oregon, stuff like that. And they're all great guys, great coaches, some UFC fighters and all of them and stuff like that. So you can just take wee bits for them all, and they're all kind of singing off the same hymn sheet really, with their techniques and their coaching abilities and that. So you're like, right, we're doing all right here. Like back home, I'm still doing kind of the same stuff. So it's like, right, it's not like a magic formula that right, what they doing over there? What's the secret sauce? Not that. It's the same stuff. So if you nail down the basics, which I try and tell my team, I feel like I'm just saying the same shit over and over again, but I'm just trying to ingrain it into them. Like, this shit works. How do you get back to your feet? This is how you get back to your feet. Don't try and super fancy. The main goal is to get back to your feet, or if you're trying to take somebody down, or if you're trying to control. It's basic stuff. You just need to drill them down, and so once it happens in a fight, it's just second nature, and it just runs flow. And I think that's, I'm doing something right in that department.
It's huge. I think in any field as well, in the sense, but this is what a lot of people don't understand about coaching. Everybody wants to, especially young guys, they want to learn something different, and they're like, oh, how do you do this? These heel kicks, spinning kicks, whatever it is, it's like, oh, that's great, and all these different elbow combinations, but it's like, it's literally, as you'd said, repeating the fundamentals so many times that it becomes ingrained. That's what fighters do. It's like, 'cause, I mean, you can tell me more than anything else, but when you're in there, you're not thinking. Like, you are acting off of, it's based off all the repetition.
Yeah, that's it. Just instinct to your body knows, body mechanics as well, and that's what I try and say to my team anyway. Like, I'm always saying, I know I've said this before, and it does work, but I know there's certain classes where you drill, right, like jiu-jitsu, drilling, nobody likes drilling, right, nobody likes drilling, it's shite. Let's go over arm bars, let's go over techniques. Then you get the people that skip that class and they'll come into the next class for the rolling. The superstars, I call them, right? They don't need to come in because you know fucking everything, right? But then they get found in competitions or they get taken down in fights. My big one's people that don't show up to wrestling because it's tough. It's like, my warm-up's like a half an hour warm-up. I go to for my old coach Sergey in Dublin. Like his wrestling classes were like 2.5 hours, 2 hours, like an hour warm up, stuff like that, right? So I'm an hour and a half. But people don't, they'll come in and it's too hard, and I'm like, right, so seeing fights when you're getting taken down, like, don't come to me then. Or some people miss the warm up and come at 6, and then the hard bit's done, know what I mean? So that's a big one for me. Like, if you are amazing at wrestling, then so be it. You just don't need to come. If you can take me down, then my job's done. But sometimes repetition sucks, but it's needed.
For sure. You get that. I've trained a lot in Thailand, spent a lot of time there, and the guys over there, it's like, it's obviously super easy warm up in the sense like you're running. Or if you're in the gym, you're running around the gym, skipping for 10 minutes, stretching for 10. But most of the folk will be like, 'cause it's early in the morning, sleep in, and then they just go when it's hitting pads, and they're like, no chance. And they'll send you out. They'll send you out running. I mean, these Thai boys are worse than MDLs because they'll run like half a K and they pour water over themselves. So they come back in and the coach will, you run 7-8K, and it's like, how they fuck. But they're strict with it, and pushing it. And as you said, it's for good reason. That's what, and that'll show you the people that really want it, the people that are willing to go through the stuff that isn't glamorous.
Yeah. You need it, and it's what makes us, isn't it?
That is for sure, man. When you look at McGregor, obviously you'd known him, obviously those years ago you trained with him when he was at his absolute prime. Seeing what's happened to him now in terms of the stage he went through, he kind of lost his head a bit in the game, lost himself in it all. How do you see his current situation, looking at that?
My first instinct was that I felt sorry for him. I felt bad for him. With the injury, as a fighter, my knees went exact same as that, and you're mere in disbelief. For him, that must have been a lot different for the comeback. Then, like, obviously where he was, like, he's obviously had issues with drink and other things. You know, court cases. This is his big return. And then just for it to go like that, like, I've been in that situation, you just want the ground to swallow you up, man. You just want to evaporate, and you're embarrassed. You're embarrassed as well. So I felt the fighter in me felt from there. I didn't want that to happen. Now if Max had to piece him up and beat him up, you can accept that more, and that could have happened. You know what I mean? You never know how that fight's got to play out, but. Just for the knee to go and the injury to go, I did feel for him. And then I was worried about where he would go to. Because he turned to a dark place, right? I can say this because I feel like we're very similar. And you just don't want him to go back to what he was doing. He seems like he's spending a lot of time with his faith and his family and stuff like that. So hopefully... he gets the operation, he goes through rehab, and I don't think he'll want to go to that. You'll probably see him fight again, maybe when he's close to 40, probably coming in recovery, and you'll probably get one more out of him. He'll maybe go to the bare knuckle and maybe do his own thing, like maybe Netflix or money related. But I think you'll probably see that one other fight, because you won't go like that. And I just hope he just finds peace with himself, and because what he done for the sport and stuff like that. Obviously, people don't like him. Obviously, how he's reacted with stuff and some of the stuff he's done and that. And I get it, man. If you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit, and you deserve to be caught on it. If you do stuff that people don't like, but because you're so much there in the limelight, you're one of the most famous guys ever. You're not much you'll get away with. And obviously, other court cases and that. Like there's a lot of people hating him right now, but. Once that happened with his knee, like, the first thing I felt was sorry for him. I just didn't want it to go like that, especially with a stupid knee and, like, the first kick you throw as well. It's just, you couldn't fucking ride that, you know what I mean?
I know. I think it's hard for people to really understand what these guys, including yourself, go through from a mental side of things, going into fighting. There was a quote that I took from one of your documentary that you done. You said that if I didn't do mixed martial arts, I'd probably be in jail. Yeah. Why?
Because of who I was and who I am, and I had been to jail. I spent a couple of months in jail when I was younger, and I just felt martial arts just gave me direction, and it gave me discipline, and it changed me. Obviously, I was a young boy that liked to fight, I liked to party, I liked to drink, take drugs, stuff like that. So therefore, there was only one way that goes sometimes, and with my temper, and like I wouldn't go looking for trouble, but trouble did find me, and I just feel if I didn't have martial arts, I'd probably play football, and I'd probably work in like a factory still, 9 to 5, and I'd go at the weekend, and if I go at the weekend, I'd drink, I'd take drugs, I'd go with girls. That would be my life until my life would probably be in jail, because I'd probably get in a fight, probably hurt somebody, probably, you never know, probably drink and drive, stuff like that. Like these are the avenues I'd probably go down, and I don't mind saying that at all, because it's true. So martial arts gave me discipline, it gave me a direction. When I had fights, I didn't drink, like I was disciplined. And don't get me wrong, I like a smooth Grey Goose, I like a Guinness, but very rarely now I'm out. I'm a father now, obviously, but aye, that's it. I would have been in jail. I would have done something stupid. I know for a fact it was, and a lot of people do say this, I'd probably in jail. I know for a fact it was because I had a wee taste of it. I've been in jail a few times, couple of months, but I've also been lifted and spent nights in cells, which is horrible. The police knew who I was, which is even worse. I remember after one of my first Bellator fights, there was a warrant out for my arrest, and they came to the door, my mum's door, and I'm just like, I've not done anything. I just fought on national TV at the time, Channel 5, and I'm just like, I've not done nothing. So I was smug about it. I had to hand myself into Govan police station, and they arrested me there on the spot, and without telling me nothing. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? Then your mind's racking, like, have I done something back then? Is it this? I was involved in this. Was it that? Then you're like, you start to try and ask them, is this for this? And they're like, oh, I wouldn't say anything. Just don't say it. It's better just not say anything. I'm like, fuck, what have I done? And they start the interview. My lawyer's there, and they're like, basically what they were saying is like, I'd stole power tools out of a van outside Ibrox Stadium, and I just burst out laughing, man. I was just like, last weekend I was on Channel 5 fighting in Newcastle in front of like the world. You think I've come up the road and jumped right to steal power tools out of a van outside Ibrox? I know. I just laughed, and my lawyer said, don't say that. I said, no, I'm good here, like, I didn't fucking do this. So I got smug about it and just started laughing. I said, why did the guy have a beard? And they're like, no, somebody said it was actually you. I'm like, it's probably a Rangers fan. I'm like, that was Chris Bungard, you know what I mean? But that was like the last time I was ever in a police station, but it was false. But go back to your question, I would have been in jail. I would have been fucking caught doing something stupid, and I would have paid the price. And it isn't us that pays the price for shit like that now, it's your loved ones, you know what I mean? So the thought, now looking back at that, I'm a bit more mature now. Looking back at that, like, see if you get to jail, or you can get years took away from you, just like that. And then your mum, your dad, God forbid now, your children, like, you take that away from you for what? For some money, or being drunk, or have been high, whatever. Like, you felt good at the time, and for an extra couple of grand or something, whatever it is that they're doing these days, people are stabbed, people like Evan, like, or nothing, because it's nothing. It's like they had an argument, or they were drunk, or they were mad with it, or whatever, and just like that, the wee boys fake Kilmarnock, you know what I mean? Fucking stabbed the wee boy. 3 of them got life, you know what I mean? 15, 16, 17, whatever they were. That wee boy 16 died, you know what I mean? For nothing. Just running about a beach with a knife. So, aye, come to martial arts, go to your gym, like, meet new people. You don't need to fight. Learn what life's about, and it will save you.
For sure. I think what you have is what a lot of guys unfortunately don't find, which is a sense of purpose. Martial arts gave you that. I mean, you've got a lot of things. Obviously, you've like pro wrestling, MMA, all the films. You have a lot of passions in life, which I assume is that part of what you think helps you stay away from the demons, the dark shit in your life. Is it that?
Yeah. that's what I say, is like I need to kind of cram my life. And soon I'll stop doing fighting and the gym stuff and that. But every wee thing I need to be doing something every day. I need to be busy. Sunday I'm acting, then Sunday night I'm wrestling. I've got some happening tomorrow as well. It's just I need to be busy. I wouldn't see it as demons now. I think the demons will come when I retire. The new I'm so busy with the gym and my daughter and my own training and stuff like that, where I've not got time. People try to do like stuff like these interviews are hard to cram in now. Doing a lot of acting. I'm doing a lot more acting now. I'm got to be doing like some theatre for the Edinburgh Fringe, which is new, and wrestling, pro wrestling as well. So you try to cram this in and be a father, and it's a lot. A lot of people asking for your time, and you would love to give them it, but sometimes you've no. But as much as for the demons are now, then the demons are alright now. I think it's just because of where I'm at in my life, but I think when I retire, I'm going to fall into a mini depression. But see if one day if I laze about in bed and I maybe don't come to this and I don't do other stuff and I maybe cancel people, that day in bed or that day doing nothing, that fucks with me. That fucks with me big time. Where that is like a slight mini depression where I'm like, I should have been doing something and I've not, and I've been lazy. No, like you're just what you doing with yourself. Why have you done that? If I have a day off and it's a planned day off, then it's not like that because I have stuff to do. But if I cancel people or if I just stay in bed, that fucks with me a bit, and that's weird. And I feel like that's coming when I retire. I feel like there's got to be days in bed where I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to chill here for a bit and watch films and be lazy and get fat.
For sure. Which is how it happens a lot, because like that thing you described, cognitive dissonance, it's like the mental discomfort that people get when they're not following through in who they believe they are. Like your identity as a fighter. Yeah. You are somebody that trains every day.
What's that called?
These things, cognitive dissonance.
Right, okay.
So it's just a fancy fucking word for this discomfort that we feel. And it can happen to anybody. It can happen to me or you. It can happen to absolutely anybody who deep down they know they should be doing something as part of who they are, and then they don't do that thing. There's a gap there. And it's like, for example, Dustin Poirier.
And that's what gives you that like
that feeling.
That slight depression.
Exactly.
That's what I can only describe it as. It's like there's a slight emptiness where you've not fulfilled something, and like, why are you doing it? And then it's like it's mental torture sometimes. It's very hard to describe that.
You're totally right. And what most people do is they make excuses. Yeah. They say, oh, well, I couldn't train today because I couldn't have got to the gym for whatever shite reason they give themselves, which is digging them further into that situation. Yeah. And they keep themselves in that, whereas you've experienced that a million times. Those days when you don't want to go to the gym, you're just like, fucking hell, get a grip of yourself. Like sometimes you need to speak to yourself like that and say, just get to the fucking gym, and then you feel so much better after it.
And they turn out to be the best days. Like the days that you just can't be fucked sparring turn out to be the best spars. And then the days that you're feeling up for it, you either get injured or you get smoked. And you're just like, fuck, I was feeling great there today. Yeah. So I'm feeling good for sparring tonight.
So you're getting smoked.
Aye. Well, hopefully no. But aye, absolutely, man. So
yeah. Aye. How do you feel? Look at obviously Dustin Poirier, what happened to him, and he called it. He said it in podcasts and that 6 months ago. Like, I go to a dark place when I don't have a mission, which I think so many young guys, or any guy and women can relate to, but particularly guys, because guys are like, we have this deep sense that we need to provide something. We need to have some mission that we're pursuing. Yeah. You can obviously see it in Poirier. Stopped fighting. His identity was in fighting. He got these feelings. Is that kind of how you see yourself potentially in the future?
Absolutely. And it's mad because obviously these guys like Dustin and Conor are multi-millionaires, you know what I mean? Like they've got what they need. They've got a beautiful family. I'm not a multi-millionaire, I've got a beautiful family, but it just goes to show you that even with the money, like you'll still go through these thoughts like, what would you love? A retired fighter with all this money so you can chill when, you know, it's clearly not working for certain people, you know what I mean? It's going to be bad. That's all I was going to say. But I get it. I absolutely get it. And see, as a fighter, you're hot when you're hot. See, once your career's over, nobody gives a fuck about you. And I think that's the reality. Like, you come down. There's like a big adrenaline dump, and it happens after big fights. You're the flavour of the month that weekend. You've got a big win, you're amazing. I tell my fighters this. They'll see their social media be on fire for the Saturday night, the Sunday, maybe even the Monday. All their posts about their fights, boom, boom, boom. I'm getting good traction here. I've got good followers. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday comes, it's back to the drawing board, just back to being normal, Chris Bungard. You start posting again, your numbers will just go down. You're just hot for that fight. The bigger the fight, the hotter it is, the more followers you get. Brilliant. And it's the same all the way up. Like, you could probably bump into some of the legends, like the UFC and like stores and out shopping or eating, and you'd be like, oh cool, that's fucking Chocolate, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's like people sitting beside them won't even know who they are as well. You just go on, unless you're a mega movie star or mega football star like Cristiano Ronaldo, stuff like that, like then you'll always be that aura. But for fighters, it's hard because you do come back to reality and you come back quick, and then till the next fight, then till the next fight. Then when you retire, nobody really cares about, because you're not fighting anymore. Like, you don't bring us like joy with your fights or happiness. You're just, what are you up to these days? No, for me personally, I'm going into the coaching. With Dustin, I mean, the guy had a couple of beers at the airport. He's loving life. He's got his own, what was it? Fucking vodka or something?
The sauce, spice sauce, or
sauce. No, sorry, I was thinking Aljo. He's got his own fucking Sambuca or something. Aye, so he's made millions off fighting Conor as well. Conor fucking saved them all, really. Just enjoy it. He's got kids, lovely home. It's tough, man, but sometimes you need to just let it go as well. Obviously, he got chucked off a plane and then started nearly fighting with the stewardess and stuff like that. So that's different. And he's him. So you're caught on camera. He's obviously dropped the N-bomb quite smoothly.
Very smoothly.
But it's like, I had a few beers, man. Just let him get on with it. Yeah. So it's tough. People need to let go a wee bit with it. But I think for me, I don't think I'm going to turn to alcohol as much, because I'm still got to be coaching and that. But everybody has their moments, I think, and I think we're all just human at the end of the day. And once fighting's not there, it's such a big part of everybody's life that have went through like a 20-year career or whatever. And you're just like, right, this is what we do. Like, what do we do now? Where I think Dustin could coach. He can go into maybe like doing the desk work. Like he's a good analyst and stuff for that, or just fucking, he's for Florida. No, he's for Louisiana. Just chill at the beach all day, man. Like fucking, I know who want to do something. Go grapple. Day fucking RAF wrestling or day jiu-jitsu, ADCC. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get full of steroids. As soon as my 50th fights happened, I'm going to get on the good stuff. Repair my back, my knee, whatever I can, and I'm going to do jiu-jitsu. I'm going to go in with all the other juice heads and go to the Masters, Ultra Masters division, and I'm going to travel the world and compete in jiu-jitsu, I think.
Unreal, man. That's so good.
I know.
Imagine you're that boy, by the way, Dustin Poirier gets chucked off a plane, you see him walk towards you, like, oh fuck, man, he's had a few beers.
Man, fuck you, man.
It's going to be bad. I'm like, no chance.
He still pulls the shorts up. Like, I think he's still done something like that. That means he's in his zone, man.
Yeah, for sure. I would not like to be in him.
I remember I done that, and actually, Paul, I done a shorts thing before in Dustin Poirier, but it was an Iron Appa against 3 Englishmen, and my good friend Craig Murray will testify to this. I was wearing these pink shorts, tightest shorts ever. John Travolta type, man. They were so bad. I think they were wee All Saints fucking numbers, but we were in Iron Appa, and these English guys were they were tormenting people, man. They were glassing people. And it was like 6 in the morning, like 5 in the morning. I'm along about with like a cocktail, but we've been out all night. It's fucking brilliant holiday. And this guy's came, he's glassed someday, and he's like, you any of you's got to do anything about it? And everybody's just watching, drinking, and he's gone round everybody, and he's picked on my mate who's like never fought in his life. He's quite a quiet guy, and he's like, right in his face, you got to fucking do it. And I'm just sitting sipping my cocktail. I'm just like, please ask me to do something. And he's like, "Are you got to fucking do something?" I says, "Absolutely." Like, so I've sat my drink down these wee pink shots, and I've just done like, honestly, the Dustin Poirier put the shots up, and I just front kicked the guy, man. Asked my pal Craig, and then all these English just started coming out. It was just a conveyor belt, and honestly, they were all drunk, so I was beating them basically, and then we just walk away. And like, I remember we went to the rooftop at our hotel. We were drinking. We were just like, it was like Anchorman. Like, what the fuck just happened there? That escalated quickly. And my mate Craig always does this to me. Like, he pulls his shots up. He always says, "Whip, bang." that's what he always writes. Whip, bang. So he lifts the shots up. So he says that. It's like, "You done that Dustin Poirier thing?" And I was like, "I know." That was like 10 years before he done it. But good. So stuff like that. Like, I get involved sometimes when I shouldn't need to, but I think the guys deserved it because they were hunting people with like glass and all and stuff.
Aye,
like that, I mean.
they deserved it.
Aye. God's work. We call that street justice.
Aye.
In Holytown.
Class, man. You'd said obviously like what you're going into now. You got the gym. You've got Progress MMA. That's obviously going to be. It's going to be huge. It sounds like it already is for your life. It's giving you a lot of purpose.
Yep.
It's helping these young guys, these young girls come through. What's the vision there? And or even before we get into that, what sparked this? Were you always going to start a gym? Was this always part of what you wanted?
So, I always got to open my own gym after my 50 fights, right? Certain situation happened in my old gym where it made me leave the gym, right? So once I left the gym, opened my own gym, my old teammates, people from my old gym, they followed me. Say what you want, that can say more about me as a person, as a coach, or it could say something about my old coach, but realistically, he fucked up. So we built the gym. I was only 2 rooms at one point. It was like, so it was like a big matted area, and then I'd take like plumb showers, sinks, all this stuff in for scratch, man. It's like an old social club building. It's a weird shape. And then the business next door shut down, so I spoke to my landlord, knocked a wee wall down, so we joined it together. So we've got like a pathway. Now, my gym, Progress Martial Arts, it has 2 matted areas, has a cage room, has a ring, a boxing ring. It has female and male changing rooms. It's a shower. It has 2 bathrooms. It has a physio room. It has a podcast room. It has a strength and conditioning room. It has a games room with a pool table, dartboards, PlayStation. It has a sauna recovery room with a cold dip, and it has upstairs. It has 2 dorm rooms and an office that I'm building now. And outside we've got like a wee basketball court with a couple of picnic benches. That is my gym. And once the sauna room's finished, we're done, because it's been a fucking absolute nightmare. But that's what I sell. This is our facility. We call it the compound, and we're trying to create a community here. I want every mat to be busy. I want people in the ring, people in the cage, people in the strength room. I want it all to be busy. Always tight team community. Someday you can go to about anything. People can help anybody. We're all training together, and that's my dream, or that's my vision. I'll call it a vision. People's like, "Are you happy with it?" Yeah, and I'm not happy with it because it's not finished, right? Until all the other rooms are finished, then I can say I'm happy. But as I says, the process was just sped up because I left the gym with my teammates. When it happened, was I a bit gutted? I was, because it split my team up. Obviously, the guys I trained with my full career, Ryan Campbell, one of the 4 horsemen, had to go to a higher level, which I didn't take too kindly to. So when I opened up, the boys came with me, which I respect. And we've obviously got other fighters that came to us, and I've created fighters from scratch that have went on and had 3 or 4 fights already, so I'm keeping them active. So it's good when I've took somebody from scratch to 4 fights and doing great. That means my coaching's working. Obviously, other people are coming from other gyms. They've not really taught them from scratch. They've kind of maybe moulded their style a wee bit or given them a wee bit more confidence. Then that's down on me. But right now, I mean, we opened to the public last March the 1st, so a year and a bit over. We've got fights every month. We're up and down the country. We've been in England 3 times this month. we're up in Fife last week. We had 2 guys win last week in Stevie Ray's show. Marcus is doing great. Sean's doing great. Darren, Connor. We've got 5 corners. It's fucking an absolute nightmare. And we've got guys that never thought they would ever fight, winning by like knockouts and stuff like that. And I know what it means to them because I'm their coach and I speak to them personally and stuff like that. So I know that I'm doing something right. And that doesn't mean a guy with 47 fights. Just because you've got 50 fights, just say doesn't mean you'll be a good coach. And I know people say that. But I know the way I coach people and the way I'm a man, I was going to say man on man there. What's the word I'm looking for?
I understand what you're saying though, in terms of like how you are as a man, in
like
terms of
a
leader, as a...
like hands-on. I'm more like, so you get a manager for a football team that puts an arm around like the fucking special player or whatever. So I'm good. I'm good like that with the team. I can speak to anybody personally, and I can get more out of them. I know I can get more out of people with just who I am and what I expect and the standards I'm trying to set in the gym. And I honestly think we're doing something right. And once the gym's finished and everybody can see what I've built, I think we'll just go strength to strength. And right now, like, I couldn't ask for a better team. And there'll be bumps. The boys don't know that this yet, but they've got to lose at some point, and that's just the nature of the beast, and that's just part of the game, MMA. But that's my job, to be there to help them, to build them back up, or to make them progress. You know what I mean?
Huge, man, huge. I mean, all those things there, it's mental, kind of full circle moment, coming back to coaching your own guys, getting so far in your career, experiencing all these things. It's pretty incredible what a young boy for Hollytown's managed to experience through the realm of martial arts and now into everything else you're doing. What does the future look like for the bad guy? What's that?
Future looks like hopefully starring some films. I'm doing a lot of acting now, and I feel like my acting's getting a bit better. I'd like to star in a decent film that maybe go to Netflix or whatever, and obviously retire. I'm going to retire next year. 2 fights this year, and then my last 2 will be next year. So I'll definitely retire in the year 2027. That'll be, and the thought of that, I've always, sometimes I think like putting the gloves down for the 50th one. Would it be in Glasgow? I would like it to be like a Cage Wars Glasgow or something, or a PFL Glasgow. Something in Glasgow where everybody that's followed me for my 50 fights can come and watch me. Because I've always had a great support, and forever, highs, lows, they still all support me. So sometimes thinking about that last fight, I do get emotional because I go over it in my head, and it's like that'll be the last time you ever do that and stuff like that. So I think that's got to be something, but that'll be next year. Hopefully, start some films, and just watch my team grow into just great athletes. Take them to title fights, take them to main events, and hopefully take them to be better than I ever was. And that's the main goal. Like, if I can make you better than I ever was, then I've won. I've won, man. I've done it. And just be a better person, which I'm trying a wee bit. But there's days that I know I can be better. So just growth, man. Just growth is in my future, and hopefully starring a wee movie soon. That's my vision.
Yeah.
And also be a good father. Like, my young girl's always in the gym. She understands what I do. She's only 4 though. But I kind of want her to start training a wee bit with me and just understand why you do it, and just in case she needs to use it when she's older.
Amazing. It's going to be good.
And obviously, like, as you say, like, taking people, we've got a mutual friend, like Conor, like, the old gym. He obviously was in the old gym with me and didn't get a sniff at a fight. Like, wasn't even considered for fighting. Like, basically looked down on a wee bit, like, when it came to, like, having a fight in the cage. 3-0. He's 3-0 under me. 3 first round submission finishes. He's progressing and maturing as a fighter, not just a grappler, which he is. That's see his last fight, just seeing him like take people down, land strikes, punch, ground and pound, kicking. brilliant. That's me. That's like, you're evolving into a fighter. He's a great person anyway, Conor, great teammate as well, but they wee gems in the gym is what makes my job worth it, know what I mean? So, and there's hundreds of them like that in the gym. They're all train together, they all work hard together, and I can honestly see big promotions in a lot of their futures, and hopefully me in their corner. You know what I mean?
Amazing. Sounds like that's what progress is all about.
Yeah.
Like, just it's exactly that's in the name. It's progress.
That's it.
Which you are making a lot of.
Yeah.
So it's huge, man. But I appreciate all this, man. I appreciate you, like you said, your time is very valuable now. Everybody's time is valuable when you use it correctly. It's like you've got a family, you've got the gym, you've got all these different endeavours. So I genuinely do appreciate you taking time out of that to come in here.
No, I loved it, man. I loved quite open up a wee bit. It's been a while for me as well. So, I mean, I'm just relaxed. I'm trying to relax in my life these days. If it's not the edibles, it's relaxing me. I'm just trying to slow everything down because it's all gone like that, man. I've been missing a lot of loved ones recently that I've lost and stuff like that. And you start to evaluate life more, and it's just comes with maturity. And maybe like 10 years ago, I wasn't mature. Even though like I still don't act my age, you know, I get that, but there's definitely a different side to me as I get older, and I think that's the same with everybody. Like trial and error, and what can you pass on to people that now look up to you? Because there's people that do look up to me, and I mean, when I was growing up, there was fans that used to draw pictures of me, and like they look up to you, so they don't want to hear you what you're doing something stupid and stuff like. You need to show people that look up to you that there's more to life than just fucking being an idiot or going down a different path. Now I've got this platform as my coach. Now I'll show you the best path to go down.
Yeah, you're a great example of that, man. Everything.
Well, I'll try.
Well, that's it. But you can't learn from people that have done everything perfectly.
I know.
You can't. Like, what is there to learn? Whereas when people have fucked up, we do that, and you can learn from that and who they become. It's a great example, mate. So yeah, as much as they call you the bad guy, you seem like a great guy, mate.
I know.
So
Thank you, man.
I appreciate it a lot.
No, thank you for your time. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man.
Loved it, man.